The court obviously has, in this case, ruled in favor of the defendant, Joseph Fisher, who is one of, as you alluded to, Katie, hundreds of January 6 defendants who had been charged with obstruction, something that under this 2002 law, which, of course, came from the collapse of Enron, allows a person to be charged with up to 20 years in prison, or sentenced to that, rather, for obstructing an official proceeding. What the justices have now decided here is that that obstruction question perhaps could not be applicable in the case of January 6, wondering exactly what official proceedings should be defined as in that obstruction case. Not only is this significant for those who were charged with the actual riot at the Capitol on January 6, but also for Donald Trump, remembering that here in Washington, in the election subversion case that was brought against him by special counsel Jack Smith, 2 of the 4 charges related to obstruction, one of obstruction of, the second attempt to obstruct an official proceeding. So those charges against Donald Trump, the former president and presumptive Republican nominee, are now potentially complicated by this court's decision today, as they have indeed curbed the use of that Enron law. Now, I would also point out here, Katie, this is the last opinion we are getting from the court today. We are still awaiting an opinion from the court on the immunity question that Donald Trump has brought to the high court in that Washington case that I'm speaking of, whether or not he is immune from prosecution in that case. We are still awaiting the court to rule on that. Monday is an opinion day. It may not be the last. It could stretch even further into next week. We're still waiting to hear from Chief Justice John Roberts on when exactly the end of the term will be. But that immunity case tied very inextricably with this January 6 case. Again, the Supreme Court siding with the January 6 defendant in a ruling that could potentially affect hundreds of more of those like him related to the events of what went down at the Capitol on January 6, 2021.